ex-husband tried to win me back after his new wife left him. I told him something he'll never forget. I never thought I'd be the kind of woman writing something like this. But here I am, 2 years after the worst heartbreak of my life, and somehow I'm okay. More than okay, actually. For context, I, 38F, was married to my ex-husband Ryan, 41M, for 11 years. We met in our mid-20s, both broke, both chasing stability. He was working as a mechanic, and I was a receptionist at a dental office. We didn't have much, but we built a life together from scratch. Our first apartment had peeling paint and a kitchen the size of a closet, but I loved it because we filled it with laughter, midnight ramen, and cheap wine. That's what love was to me, choosing someone every day, even when life wasn't glamorous. When we finally bought a small house after 7 years, I remember Ryan lifting me up and spinning me around in the empty living room. We did it, he said. You and me against the world. I believed that. God, I believed it with my whole heart. But around our 10th anniversary, something shifted. It started small. Him staying late at work, spending more time on his phone, acting distracted when we talked. I tried to brush it off, thinking maybe he was just stressed, but my gut started screaming when he suddenly started caring about his appearance again. New cologne, new clothes, gym membership. I still remember the night everything broke. He came home late again, and I finally asked him straight out, "Are you seeing someone?" He didn't deny it. He just looked down, exhaled, and said, "I didn't plan this, Jess, but I can't help how I feel." Her name was Alyssa. She was 28. She worked at the auto shop with him. He told me he needed excitement, that our marriage had become too routine. I sat there shaking, trying to process how the man who once said I was his soulmate could talk about our life like it was a boring TV show he wanted to change the channel on. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just said, "Then go find your excitement, Ryan." He moved out 2 days later. The first few months after that were hell. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I'd wake up reaching for his side of the bed and feel that cold emptiness where warmth used to be. Friends told me I'd get over it, but they didn't see me sobbing in the shower or clutching my wedding ring like a lifeline. Alyssa posted pictures of them on Instagram within weeks, him holding her hand, smiling like he'd never smiled with me. They went to concerts, weekend trips, fancy restaurants. He bought her flowers every Friday. Meanwhile, I was struggling just to get out of bed. But here's the thing about heartbreak. It's a slow teacher. Somewhere between all the crying and the numb days, I started learning how to breathe again. I moved out of the house we'd bought together because every wall whispered his name. I rented a small apartment downtown. Nothing special, but it was mine. I painted the walls yellow, got a cat, Milo, and started walking every evening just to feel something other than loss. I got promoted at work, started taking photography classes on weekends. Slowly, life started to bloom again. Different, quieter, but honest. One day, about a year after the divorce, I ran into an old friend of his. She told me almost awkwardly that Ryan had married Alyssa. "Quick, huh?" she said. I just smiled and said, "Good for them." But that night, I cried again. Not because I wanted him back, but because I realized how completely he'd replaced me. Fast forward to now, 2 years since he walked out. I'm not the same woman anymore. I've grown, healed, and learned to love my solitude, which is why what happened last week felt so surreal. It was a rainy Tuesday night. I'd just gotten home from work, soaked and tired, when I heard a knock on my door. I wasn't expecting anyone, and my heart dropped a little when I peeked through the peephole. It was Ryan. He looked awful. Unshaven, eyes red, clothes wrinkled. For a second, I froze. My body remembered him before my brain did. Then I opened the door. Just a crack. "Jess," he said, voice trembling. "Can we talk?" I almost closed it right there, but something in me, maybe morbid curiosity, made me step aside. He walked in like a ghost, glancing around my apartment. "You moved," he said quietly. "Yeah," I replied, "a while ago." He nodded, looking at the floor. "Alyssa left me." I didn't say anything. I just waited. "She said I'm not the man she thought I was." He went on. "She's with someone else now. I feel so empty, Jess. I made a mistake. I should have never left you." I stood there, watching the man who once broke me now unravel in front of me. Part of me felt pity. Another part, the part that survived his betrayal, felt nothing but calm. He stepped closer. "We had something real, Jess. I miss you. I miss us. Maybe we could stop," I said softly. He froze. I looked him in the eyes and said, "You didn't lose your family, Ryan. You traded it for attention." He opened his mouth, but no words came out. Just that silent, stunned expression of someone finally seeing the truth too late. Then I opened the door and said, "Goodbye, Ryan." He left without another word. When I closed the door behind him, I didn't cry. I didn't shake. I just felt free. That night, I sat by my window watching the rain, thinking about how love can turn into strength if you survive it. He taught me how to break, but I taught myself how to rebuild. And maybe that's the real revenge. Not hurting someone back, but proving they no longer have the power to.